Michaelis Corporation. Water storms, fire, and wet basements.
Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Sleeping on it today, Ethan.
I know. He's asleep over there.
I would say the enthusiasm's there, though.
Yeah, I know.
It's true.
Like when I show up,
the heart is there.
I'm there.
Yeah, you're there. You know,
when you show up.
One of our favorites at Michaelis is a very famous Zach Terry. Zach joins us now. Hey, Zach, how are you?
I'm dancing the footloose.
You're dancing the footloose. Yeah, me, you and me both.
Someone is.
All right, so
well, there you go. I'll just say when you played it, it had me going.
Yeah,
so.
That's good. Nothing better than Kevin Bacon dancing. You know, that's
100%.
And since we're talking footloose, and then his best buddy they called Cowboy. I thought when they finally got him to dance and he broke loose, I thought that was a coming out of tough times for a young man, coming of age. All right, so
I was dancing with a girl for your freshman year, you know?
Exactly.
Oh man, boy, will I remember that the rest of my life. All right, we're talking mold and radon, crawl space stuff. What's going on at Michaelis?
Well, this week we've actually had, for me, a personal success because I sold 2 radon systems, mitigation, and clients were, I believe, one was up in the 8.3 or 8.2, and the other one was in the upper 9s. And we got them both.
Let's explain what that.
2.4.
Yeah, let's explain to the audience. When you test for radon, you're looking for picocuries per liter, which is a small measurement of radiation. We talk about the Iranians enhancing their uranium. They're building it up. Well, the Earth naturally takes it down and it vents it through these cracks in our soil or even in our basements. But how high was that? That seemed pretty high to me.
The one was, I think, in the mid to upper 9s. I don't remember off the top of them. Actually, I have it on my desk, 9.3.
Wow.
And then the other one was in the, I believe, the lower 8s as well. And the different, also, just to let you know, the different soils under your house as well depend on the levels. Like, for example, like Nashville is going to be way higher than up here up north where we're at the clay compared to down there as well. So, yeah, we got them. The one that was 9.3, I think she was averaging at like a 2.3, 2.2, I think is what it came back as. She's selling the home. So huge success for the team and whatnot to make sure that we get those levels down. Definitely when you're dealing with the higher ups.
They say that radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer. It's really hard as a company. You've got to go in and you've got to let them know the danger, but you don't want to scare them to death. You don't want them to, start sleeping out in the backyard. How do you guys do that? I mean, do you start ventilation immediately, or what do you do not to scare the poor people to death? Because it is a danger. I mean, you've got to take care of them, but you can't scare them to death.
It's just properly educating, telling them. And the other thing, too, is that it's not – the danger part of it is actually when that radiation attaches itself to like dust particles that you actually breathe in. So it's not necessarily the radiation itself, but it's the dust that you breathe in
exactly
from attaching itself. So a lot of times when people come back and they have a high rate on, I'm like, it's okay. Obviously we need to mitigate. The hardest part is when you're dealing. I've dealt with a couple of them that have been in the teens. And it's trying to tell the client that you're trying to get to that 4.0 mark, but it's not always guaranteed. And that's the hardest part because everybody wants that success of being in the safe zone is what I'll call it. But it's not always going to happen, just depending on where you're at and the ground underneath, different situations in the crawl space or basement. There's a lot of different parts. So really just educating the client themselves on what radon is, what it does. I mean, you've been living with it all your life if you haven't had a mitigation system in yet. So
you're doing a good job. We'll tell people to test often. You can get the kit. And if you get in a pickle, it's not just water storms, fire, and wet basements. It's also radon and air quality. You guys are doing a good job. Thanks for joining us, Zach.
Well, one last comment here.
You bet.
I need a update that Pat's not going to be here on the email. I would have brought watermelon and beer down to the show if I would have known,
Watermelon and beer, that's going to be an interesting
celebration.
Gastro. Yeah, I guess so. Zach, he's going to be gone next week too.
So mentally prepare.
Yeah, Yeah,
call me.
Stay in touch, brother. All right, you take care of yourself. That's Zach Terry from the Michaelis Corporation. Water